What is it like being a Jamaican living in the state of Montana in the USA? Hi, I'm Xavier Murphy, the founder of Jamaicans.com. And today in Jamaicans to the World, I talk to Toni Popp, a Jamaican living in the state of Montana in the USA. I think the town is called Kalispell.
Kalispell, yes.
Wow. Wow. All right. We're going to dig into it a little more. Kalispell and Montana. But which part of Jamaica are you from?
Oh, Xavier, first of all, I have to say thank you for having me. I've been watching you and loving every single episode, Xavier. I even go back and watch episodes too,
Oh, wow. Well,
But,
thank you.
but I was born in Kingston.
Okay.
I was born at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, Xavier. But my earliest memories found me living in Stony Hill. I'm from Stony Hill, Long Wall, living with my grandmother. And then my mom ended up moving to Golden Spring. I lived at Lot 5 Stock Farm Road in Golden Spring. That's my address.
All right.
And then, hold up. Then we moved to Temple Hall, Xavier. Have you ever been to Temple Hall? It's
Yes.
Junction Road.
Yes. Listen, Junction. Oh, my. Oh, all right. Let me not. It's an experience.
Yes, it is. It is. So, yes. So I'm from,
All right.
I consider myself Junction girl, country girl.
All right. Well, I won't be visiting you at Junction. You have to meet me at the start or the end, whichever one of the ends. You have to meet me at one of the ends. So,
All right.
which school are you representing if you went to high school in Jamaica?
Merle Grove, Constant
Okay.
Spring Road, Merle Grove.
All right. So you wore blue.
Yes, yes. And listen, when I went to sixth form to wear that white shirt and the tie, yes.
Good, good. In fact, my sister-in-law went to Merle Grove. So awesome, awesome. So tell us about your journey to Montana. And I know you're in this town, so tell us your US journey. How did you get to the US and give us fill it that in for us?
My mom left Jamaica in the 80s, moving to New York, and she tells people that she ran away from her children and her children chased her down. So my brother and I, we moved to New York in 1997, I think. And I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And from Brooklyn, I ended up in Queens, Jamaica, Queens, living in Jamaica, Queens. And Xavier, I met a man from Montana. And to be honest with you, I am a geography. I have a 1 in CXC geography. When this man told me he's from Montana, I was like, where the hell is that? Because I used to see, you remember watching those Sunday matinee on JBC?
Yes, yes.
The Western ones?
Yes,
it's
the cowboy ones.
Toni Murphy. Montana and them places, them cowboy old time show. And so I did not know where Montana was, but here I am 23 years later in Montana.
Wow. So tell us, all right, America is a culture shock within itself. Okay. And, I think people tend to think everywhere in America is practically the same, but it's not. Okay. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about that culture shock. New York, you probably had some culture shock from Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And then Montana and a little bit about that culture shock.
Okay, so Montana, I don't know if most Jamaicans know this, but Montana is the fourth largest state in the union. Fourth largest state in the union. We have more cows than we have people, if that makes sense. We have more cows than people. When I moved here, if you think about what I just said to you, when I moved here, we did not have 1 million people living here.
Wow.
We did not have 1 million people. So I think now, since the COVID, we got a whole influx of people moving here. People heard that Montana is open up. Montana giving away a visa. So a lot of people moving in. So I think Xavier, do not quote me on this. I think we're about a 1.1 high people in Montana now. So
Wow.
that was
So
the
why were
first.
people, but really not the visa, but what was it? Is it, and I usually jump into the cost of living. Is it because the cost of living is go ahead.
Sorry. Uh, the, the cost of living, a lot of people moving here, they are remote workers. So, yes, the cost of living, we do not have a sales tax. We do have an income tax. So we
Okay.
have people moving in. But going back to the differences, we did not have a lot of people here. It's a large state, and I have never met a stranger, if that makes sense. People are friendly, people talk to you, but it's so different, Xavier. They're hunting. This is a recreation state. They're hunting. I have no idea what I was getting myself into.
Wait. So everywhere is like you hunt, or there's designated places that you go to hunt.
So, but the state being so big, there's a lot of it's very mountainous. We have a lot of wild animals here. We're talking about elk, deer, wolves, bears, moose, and they have these drawings and tags, and people apply for tags and they go hunting, Xavier. um, I've been at my office and see people popping by to see my husband back then, to show off their dead deer hanging out the back of the truck, Xavier.
Oh,
Different. It's different, okay? There are a lot of
okay.
Native American tribes here, okay? Where I live, you have the Blackfeet, the Flatheads. There's a lot, and I've been to a couple of powwows, and they're amazing. Seeing
Wait,
little.
wait, wait, wait. Explain what's a powwow, please, before you say they're.
Imagine a Native American, and they're in their regalia, their feathers and their moccasins, and the beating of the drums, and they're celebrating. They celebrate different things, but you finally, these powwows usually happen in the summertime, you know, and it's their celebration. They have a lot to celebrate and a lot to, and it's different. It's a different vibe.
So you talk about the hunting
Uh-huh.
and all the wild animals there and so on. So have you tried deer?
Xavier, I have tried deer. I don't like it.
Okay.
I have tried elk. Elk is lean.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer fat in my cow. I prefer a steak. I prefer a steak.
So what's the typical food there in Montana? Is it gonna be like like deer, or what's one of the favorites of people who live there?
So the people who live here, the native Montanians, they love their hunting. I mean, it's a big thing, and they'll tell you they're hunting, and it's put in their fridge. Um, so let's say game meat, and steak, get meat,
Okay.
and cows, and potatoes. Oh my God, we grow a lot of potatoes here.
So
Steak and potatoes, Xavier. Steak and potatoes.
so
I'm from Jamaica. I don't want steak and potatoes all the time.
so I'm going to get to that part, the Jamaican part, in a minute. But let me ask you this. I'm curious. So, are you hearing shots fired, or have you ever driven by a place and you're seeing shots being fired, or have you gone hunting? I mean, I'm
Oh,
talking, have you gone hunting, or have you heard you're in your yard and you hear "pow" and it's hunting going on? Is that the case, or am I stereotyping here?
yes and no.
Okay.
So the because the place is so big, Xavier, the passerby will not hear shots. You have to be in the woods somewhere to hear that, right? At my old house, I lived in the woods. It actually went up in the woods, and I hunted, or I would practice shooting. You know, I'll go back there. I used to, my family would put up, I'm the worst shot. So they would put up targets for me. So that's, you know, so you're hearing shots. But Xavier, it's not, you know, remember I said we have more cows than people.
Right.
So we're not really, because I moved to town, I now have a neighbor. At my old house, Xavier, I lived on 13 acres in the woods.
Oh,
You don't see. Yes,
wow.
that's how it's Xavier. But now I'm in
Wow.
town.
So, so don't surprise me and say having a neighbor means that I only have 1 acre versus 13. Don't surprise me and say
I'm in a subdivision with the HOA.
okay, okay. So let's talk about your Jamaican food fix. Is there any Jamaican restaurants there, or are you the one cooking your own Jamaican food, or you have to drive somewhere, or ask a relative to ship ship some things in? Where do you get your fix?
Okay, so when I just came here, my mom used to send me a package every couple of months, right? And Xavier, it would feel like a barrel was sent from foreign, you know. My mama sent me a barrel from foreign. So that's how I would get my saltfish and my ackee and them stuff. I used to get barrel here in Montana. So that's how I used to get it. And then
Barrel in reverse. That is funny.
barrel in reverse. and then the Amazon happened. Thank you, Jesus, for Amazon. Start getting stuff through Amazon.
all your pigtail can come through Amazon now.
Look here, I got some pigtail last month, you know, in a little bucket something.
Yeah. Yes. If you love your stew peas,
My next stew
are
peas,
you red pea soup?
Xavier, I am so excited for the thing. So Xavier, we don't have a lot of Jamaicans here.
Okay.
We don't have a lot of Jamaicans here. When I came to Montana, to Kalispell, Montana, 23 years ago, for the first 2-3 years, people would say to me, "Do you know Ray?" Who's Ray? Ray's a Jamaican. He works in Costco. So I was going to Costco for about 2-3 years looking for this Ray, and I never found Ray.
Wow.
About 15 years ago, I was in Costco, and by the way, Costco even moved them address. You know, they're now at a new place. And I was in the Costco, and I saw this black man. Xavier, we don't have black people here. And I saw this black man, and he looked like he was talking work. And I introduced myself, interject into the conversation like nobody's business. And I said, "Are you Ray?" And Xavier, when the man said yes, oh Lord, I was so happy.
All of the patois, the Jamaican come out, and boom, the two on the take over, planning out to take over Costco.
I was so happy to meet Ray. Xavier, we
Wow.
don't have, I think, in Great Falls. So Great Falls is about 4 hours away from me. So here in Montana, they talk about places in terms of how long it takes to get to the place, right? Because it's big state. So Great Falls is an army base. And so there you find more black people. I found one black hairdresser. She is in Great Falls. Xavier, how I found this lady, I was looking for a product to relax my hair about a long time ago. And I actually went to the company to find the product, and they sell it to one person in Montana. They gave me her name, and that's how I found the hairdresser. Stick a pin in that. A couple of years later, I was being sworn in as a U.S. citizen in Helena, our state capital. Xavier, there were 21 of us being sworn in as new citizens. There was one black girl. We were so happy to see each other. I looked at her. "Where are you from?" "She's from Madagascar." "Where are you
Wow.
from?" "Jamaica." Then we look at each other. We said, "Where you get your hair done?" "Antoinette in Great Falls."
The same person.
The same person. Everybody
Wow.
like Great Falls, Montana, to get their hair done because we have the one black lady.
Wow. So I'm going to be nosy. You have any kids?
Yes, I have one daughter. One
Okay.
daughter.
So the hair now. You take care of her here, or she
Well,
goes to the same hairdresser?
no, she has her father's here, the white people here. Although she complained that mom, it's so curly, curl out of her scalp. But
Right.
girl, it not have to be relaxed. You're good.
She's not searching for a hairdresser. But you can help her out. So in terms of, you said there's not a large Caribbean community there, and it doesn't sound like there's a large black community there.
There's not black people.
So I'm going to suspect that you get some interesting questions. And so I'm going to ask, tell me, what is some of the most interesting questions you have gotten since you have been living in Montana about being either Jamaican, and it may even be being black, but mainly I'm interested in the Jamaican one. When you say I'm from Jamaica, what you typically get.
The first question I got, and I actually did not remember this until about 2 years ago. This lady reminded me of it. Her daughter, so this is when I just came here 23 years ago. There was a little girl and her mom visiting our house, and the lady actually worked for my husband at the time. And we were in the back pasture. We had animals, horses and mules and stuff. We're in the pasture, and she took my hand and she looked at me and she really had this question she could not understand. She said, "Miss Toni, why are you this color?"
Wow.
And I remember, and for that, for a split second, my heart went, oh my God. I had one of those moments. And I remember I said to her, "Rach, God makes us in different shapes and colors, and we have different hair, and we sound differently." And that was it. And she took it. So that was, I'd never had, somebody, "Why are you this color?" And it was so innocent. She was about 7 years old.
Wow.
And to think at that age, she had not seen a black person before. That's kind of interesting. That was, yeah. And something I actually forgot about it, but I was with her mom 2 years ago, and she said, "You remember when that happened?" When people hear I'm from Jamaica, oh my God, Xavier, this one was good. I met this guy a couple of years ago, and Jamaica, Toni, I saw a yellow man on a concert. Xavier, first of all, this guy was a cowboy. Cowboy hat, his belt buckle, belt buckle, the boots and everything. When this man said to me he was at a Yellow Man concert, I went,
oh my. so you and I spoke before. I know you're divorced, and I don't know if you're kind of back into that dating Singapore scene or whatever the case is, and you're in a state where, hey, whatever, a million people, whatever, is how is that scene like? And is that a little different than if you're in New York or somewhere else?
Xavier, there is no dating here for me going on now, because
okay,
again, there's not enough people. I know everybody here.
and so you if you're thinking of dating, you'd have to step out of the state, maybe, or
I'd
the
have to
town.
step out. I'd have to step out.
Okay, all right. so you said the state is has a lot of mountains, greenery, and so on. If there's a place or an attraction or maybe even an event that happens there in your city or in Montana that you'd say, Xavier, if you come, you got to see this, or you got to go to this event, this annual event that they have, or it may even be the powwow. You say, Xavier, I forgot to say a powwow, right? What would that be? What would that place, event, or attraction be?
Okay, first of all, Xavier, you and your family have an open invitation to come to my house. I have plenty of room, okay? Now, it cannot be a quick trip because I love this place, Xavier. The word Montana is mountains. We're very mountainous, okay? Where I live, right here in Kalispell, Montana, I'm exactly, and I know this because I time it, Xavier, I'm 22 minutes away from Glacier National Park. Glacier National Park is an amazing, every geography student here love geography. Everybody know they live in the most beautiful places. Montana, I swear, is beautiful. When you go to Glacier Park, when you drive up the going to the Sun Road, when you pass the Weeping Wall, you look to the heavens and you say, Father, this is amazing. So Glacier National Park, I love Lake McDonald. I drive to Lake McDonald in the it's so peaceful, just looking, and trying to see the different, glaciers.
Okay. Okay.
Let's go there. So Glacier National Park. The next one, Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone is here too,
Okay. All right.
Geysers, Old Faithful. Let me tell you, that girl, she is nice. The Bison Range is just up the road from me, Xavier.
All right. So it looked like you are a central point. If I come to visit, you're a central point, and I can see all of these great attractions.
Yes. If you're here in the summertime, Xavier.
Oh, it's going to be summer. No. Let me stop you right there. Me not like cool. Okay. So I'm telling you right now. The other day I went to Canada, and it's like I brought the cold there. It was the heaviest snow they had, a winter storm. I don't like the cold, so it's all summer for me. Summer, or maybe even maybe spring. Right between that time. So I have a scenario, and listen, Toni, thank you for spending some time telling us about your journey, your story. How you got to Montana and loving it. Totally loving the call. All right. But I have a scenario for you. So, what's that? You land in Jamaica, get off the plane, get out the airport. Let's say it's in the daytime. What's that first thing that you are doing? Whether it be the food, whether it be the dip in the water, what is that thing you're doing?
Xavier, is the food for me. Before I leave the airport, I get in 2 tasty patty and a ting. What? 2 tasty patty and a ting. Xavier, I love my patty. One time I dreamt about a patty. I was actually dreaming about this patty. And I woke up. There was no patty. I cried. I literally cried. My daughter will tell you the time when her mother woke up and just cried because she never had a patty. So, and after that, Xavier, I need a coconut water because you have to wash off your heart.
All right. So winding down, what advice should you give to somebody who is thinking of moving to a state like Montana?
Well, the best thing I can tell you is that you have to have an open mind. An open mind. Just like that kid did not know what a Black person looked like. If somebody go, oh my God, why are you this color? They don't know. That's what it is. Have an open mind. You have to drive here, Xavier. We don't have bus and them things.
and you have to have snow tires on them vehicles, right?
Yes, we have 2 set of tires. We change our tires, studded tires, all right? And make sure you have a 4-wheel drive car. And everything all right. Just I want to use this platform, Xavier, to recruit some people. I need people to move.
All right, Jamaicans, Toni said, make sure you reach out to her. If you're thinking of coming to Montana, she absolutely loves it. So, you love it too, right?
They will love it, man. I tell you, it's nice.
So, Toni, thank you again for sharing your story. And as we typically say in Jamaica, what good or little more?
Yes, Xavier. Thank you for having me, and little more. Bye.
Show us some love now. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss a video.